I will try to share them, but try to attend the class if time permits. If the class is, if you have other engagements, we can start the class. I mean, I will share the recordings on per demand basis. So those who are totally new here, my name is Kalyan. I run the channel DailyAWP. I also run the site Parivartan IAS. So my intention here is there are some aspirants or some students in Hyderabad whom I teach on a regular basis. I haven't taken the essay classes for them. So anyhow, I'm supposed to take essay classes for them. So why not take it at a larger scale so that it will be helpful to most of you, right? And I have announced the schedule every Wednesday and Thursday, same time, 6 to 8, we will have essay classes. Then on Sunday, I post the daily AWP topics in the group Daily AWP. So if you're aware of the group, you can write and post essays there. I will evaluate them. It's free. The sessions are also free. So what happens is on Wednesday and Thursday, we will learn the topics. Like we will learn how to write a good essay or discuss brainstorming sessions. Then Sunday, you write the essay. By the time by the time you reach next Sunday, you should be ready. So next classes, again, we will learn. So over a period of 1 month, my intention is to help you gain the perspectives needed for essay writing. Yes, we also have a YouTube channel, Parivartan IAS. I might upload them and I will share them on per demand basis. I'm not going to make these videos public because for me, even if it's 10 students, what I need is visible difference and participation, because I don't like my classes to be one side monologues where only I will talk and you will listen. That is not what I want you to do. Even in today's session, I want most of you to use the chat box and participate in the essay. So collectively, you can learn. Collectively, we can learn. How we will do that, we will see in the due course of time, right? So now, use chat box very oftenly, freely. Okay, that is my rule number 1. Participate more because I cannot unmute. I don't know a lot many of you, right? Now the thing is, why are we here? We are here to discuss the essay module. So before, I will give you 2 timelines. One is 2014 to 2017 timeline, and then 2017 onwards the timeline for UPSC essay patterns. Okay, see, when I started my preparation in 2010, right, back then, the theme, the people were totally different. Many people didn't had an idea. If you'll go back and listen to the topper talks, even they will say, okay, we used to write my first essay in the real mains hall. I used to get good scores. This was the attitude of majority of the students back then in 2010 to 2014. This attitude extended even till 2015-16. But again, if you look at the preparation, the notes of Anudip Dursetti sir or anyone else, you will understand that people are putting a lot of effort on essay preparation. Okay, just mains preparation is not going to suffice in 2017 to 2023 onwards. Okay, so for you, whatever you are going to prepare, essay needs a dedicated preparation. It's not just basic GS. Now, what is so special about this period, 2010 to 2017? There, the topics were kind of direct. Okay, they are direct topics like women or dimensions, security, science and technologies, solution to all the problems in the world. Like this, there was a very simple, clear-cut dimensionality. People used to mug up data. People used to take the coaching notes. Okay, we will dump it there. Bare minimum scores like 120 is easily achievable. Good scores are like 150. Okay, this used to happen. So UPSC somehow noticed this. Okay, the essay is all about creativity. People are not applying their knowledge. So what UPSC decided is UPSC slowly started injecting a concept called as philosophical essays. Okay. So as all of you know, in section A, there are 4 questions. Section B, there are 4 questions. So slowly one question here and there, they have started inserting the philosophical topics. People somehow still chose the mugged up topics rather than the philosophical ones. Now, because of all these things, now last year, all the 8 topics are philosophical in nature. Okay. So what I want you to remember is UPSC is always one step ahead of us. It wants us to write essays in a very creative fashion. Now, 2 very important things that you need to remember is, though the topics are philosophical in nature or the topic looks like philosophy, they are still the same old topics. They are still talking about education. They are still talking about women. They are still talking about character building. Okay. So many questions that you see are the topics are philosophical, but the answer you write is still the same old essays. But many people are afraid that how to put this, okay, how to understand this. So what we will do is first I will try to remove your fear that essay, philosophical essay is something supernatural, only with great skill, lot of preparation I will do. Nothing of those sorts. GS preparation will help, but perspective change is the most important thing. Okay, what you need to change is perspective. Okay, so I don't know how many of you read Hindu newspaper on a daily basis, but if you have read Hindu newspaper on a daily basis, today there is an article which says a woman, a female officer is appointed in Siachen Glacier, okay, or in some higher military place. The moment you look at that article, your brain should tell you that I will use this data. Okay, I will use this data. You don't know where, but you will use it somehow. Okay, now let's imagine an essay is about glass, breaking the glass ceilings. Okay, there you will use it. So it's not like you will have it ready-made, you will see a topic and data will come ready-madely. No, my favorite analogy for this is this. Okay, imagine something like this. Okay, this is a pipe. Okay, a C-shaped pipe or a reverse U-shaped pipe or something like this. That is the topic. Your content is like a straight line. So what student assumes is I will have a ready-made content which will be in the U shape. No, that will never happen. You have to bend this content to fit this size, right? That means be the change you wish to see in the world. I want to see a world where more women officers are appointed without any limitations. So whatever existing knowledge you have, you will mold that existing knowledge into the given topic, not the other way around. This is the single biggest perspective change I want you to have. Don't look for content which suits the essay, bend the content that you have to suit this essay. It's the opposite. Okay, always have content, always have perspectives. Use that perspective to write a good essay rather than look for content which is ready made for an essay. Okay, so it might be a little bit confusing in theoretical. We will take an example and we will go slowly step by step. I want you to remember this. I hope it's visible. The question paper in 2022, other places, we will discuss about sources and all those things also. But let me get into the perspective. Perspective is most important lesson I want you to carry. Now, sorry, this is a philosophical part or problem of the essay. Everything looks very confusing. Okay, but in reality, many people chose this particular topic that a ship is safe in the harbor, but that is not what ships are for. Okay, in second section you have a lot of areas to choose for, right? You can write any one of these themes. Now, is it actually philosophical or is it very easy to appreciate and apply, right? Now, my favorite topic is this one. You can write this one, you can write this one, or you can write this one. Now, what is a philosophy? Remove that fear in your mind that I don't understand the topic. Think very carefully and calmly and apply your visual memory. Okay. Now, ship can be India, ship can be you, ship can be a government office. This is all perspective. I haven't entered into the class. Please focus. India, you, and perspective. Okay. Now, a ship can be India. Yes. So what I will do is India is safe in harbor. Okay. But that is not what India is made for. Okay. Now, automatically the dimensionality will increase. What kind of India is safe? India is safe when it does not open its borders. So before 99, India is safe. But that is not what India is made for. So what is India made for? India is made for a $5 trillion economy, a $10 trillion economy. So what I did is I did not change the topic. I did not look for ship, harbor, and all those confusing terms. What I know is India. I know India is safe before 1991, the problem. But after 1991, India opened the doors. So India explored and went into the sea. Is India better before 1991 or today? Definitely today, right? Today, India is better. So I am agreeing with that statement. Yes, India have explored. Okay. So what I simply did is instead of worrying about the philosophicalness of the topic, I will use the existing content that I know. Okay. Now we will take a very practical example. Again, learning part. So you are not safe in harbor. That is not what you are meant for. Okay. So what are you? You are an aspirant. You are a person who can take risks. You are a potential IAS officer. A potential IAS officer will take risk. Okay. So you should not be safe in harbor. That means you should not be in your comfort zone. Okay. You should take risks. Okay. Again, you can argue the risk can be calculated and all those things. But instead of worrying about philosophical nature, again, we are doing what we know. So what I know, I will mold it to the topic rather than worry about the topic. This is perspective change. Okay. If you understand this small logic, okay, philosophical essays are as easy as any other topic or any direct topic. Instead of banging our head on the wall, like what is so confusing about it, make it simple. Okay. Now, government officers are not meant to be safe. That is not what ships are for. Okay. So I will bring in something called as policy paralysis. Okay. Or red tapeism. Then I will say government officers are supposed to take risks. Sometimes it will backfire, sometimes it will work, things will change. Or you can talk about women. Women are safe in harbor. Who is saying that? Men, the patriarchy, our families are saying it's very safe to stay in home, don't do any adventure. But that is not what women are for, right? So women are for development, like women empowerment, their gender justice. You can bring in a lot of dimensionality. So simple things like ship can be replaced with a lot of things. So you can use this like a formula. Okay. Do you understand the perspective part, like what I'm trying to tell you? So don't worry about the philosophy. And today you're not going to write mains, sir. It's easy for you? Okay, I'm still not getting what you're trying to tell. It's totally fine. One day, 6 months down the line, when you write your real mains, you'll be really happy that they have given philosophical topic, because it's your ability to shine in philosophy that separates you. Okay. No two people will think in the same line, but everybody will have some ideas. You might have got some new idea which you thought, okay, sorry, saying this is a formula. What all can I do? Okay. So can you add something else? Right? So a ship is in harbor, but that is not what ship is for. So can you add some examples where what is synonymous for ship in this example? I have discussed about women, India. Yes. Transgenders, wild animals, children, technology. Okay. All vulnerable groups mostly. Okay. So you want to talk about vulnerable groups. Okay. So you can talk about social mobility, right? Competition between industries. Fine. So at least you are getting some hang of it, right? Okay. Okay. It's not that some rocket science, that philosophical essays are not rocket science. There is no need to be worried about. Now, what if sometimes it's not directly possible to apply these things? Can we use some other formula? Okay. What is the some other formula part that we can think of? Now think about this. Time to repair the roof is when the sun is shining. Okay. Right. So the time to repair the roof is when the sun is shining. Think about it. Can you rewrite this into something else? So there is a problem. There is a problem. So you have to repair it only when the time is right. There is no point in repairing something once the time is gone. Okay. Yes, do the right things when the situations are going smooth. Problem is solved when the time to repeal it. Okay. Problem to be solved when there is time to repeal it. Yes, very good. That is one more interpretation. Okay. Now, simply any common sense will tell you that demographic dividend for India is the best example. Okay. Demographic dividend, global warming. Yes, very good. Tipping points, global warming, demographic dividend. You can take off anything. Yes. The thing is, instead of looking at like a philosophical essay, you simply apply your basic economy knowledge saying, I know demographic dividend. So from 2023 till 2040, India have a demographic period. So you have to repair the upskilling, reskilling, industrialization, development, everything only when the sun is shining. After 2040, demographic dividend will become demographic burden. Yes, yes, preparing for India's defense when there is no war. Yes, definitely. COVID pandemic also from wave one, wave two, wave three. Right now, we have this luxury of breathing space, right? So Indian healthcare system, see, as a society, you should not forget that when the second wave, we have invested so much in the oxygen cylinders. Almost all government plant hospitals have oxygen cylinder plants, but after COVID, how many of us actually knew whether they are working or not? Did the media show it to us? Did the government release any report? I haven't come across any single media report which says there is a cross examination on the COVID waves. Okay, so what I want you to do is whatever you see on a daily basis in the newspaper, common sense, or in your GS papers, you can bring them and make the changes. Okay, so I hope I'm giving you that perspective. Okay, if you don't understand it, you don't have to agree with me, but by sheer evaluation I can tell you even the most toppers also won't be writing anything new. Okay, they will write things in a very nice fashion. Winners don't do different things, they do things differently. That's the only difference between you and them, but everybody can write such a example. Okay, but if you want to select a little bit more complicated topics, like you cannot step into the same river twice, again I will explain this in the scope of dimensions and depth. Okay, today morning also I had taken an essay session. There was an interesting discussion. So first we will try to understand what is the most important thing in philosophical essay. Okay, first is dimensions. The second one is scope. Right? Now, you please understand the meaning of these two terms. Dimensions. Dimensions means most of the students will write Mother Teresa, Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Dr. Ambedkar. Okay, all these are examples, but all these are examples of individuals. Okay, whenever you write an essay, if you write about Swami Vivekananda, okay, Mahatma Gandhi or Nelson Mandela or Dr. Ambedkar, anyone, so you are giving 6 examples of one dimension, that is individual. Okay, so dimensions should be like individual, institutional, society, national, and so on and so forth. Okay, these are called as dimensions. Or for example, economy, polity, geography, history, all these are also considered as dimensions. Dimensions means the clear break between point 1 and point 2. Okay, but if you write 3 examples from economy itself, then they are just examples of one dimension. Okay, I hope you got the difference, right? Dimensions means separatism, not 6 examples of one dimension and call it an essay. Many people will write 8 examples. Okay, if I ask, be the change you wish to see in the world, Gandhi was like this, Nelson Mandela was like this, Thomas Alva Edison failed 1,000 of times. Okay, you'll write 8 individual names and call it an essay. No, you have to write about individuals, institutions, society, nation, international level, polity, economy, geography. These are all dimensions. Okay, now how or why dimensions are very important in philosophical essay. So whenever someone gives a topic like this, first question you should ask yourself is, do I agree or do I disagree? Try to create it as a formula. Do I agree or do I disagree? Time to repair the roof is when the sun is shining. Okay, I agree. How much? 80% I agree, 20% I disagree. Okay, sometimes even when the sun is not shining, maybe we are forced to repair. So some counter arguments might come. So I will always give that breathing space. 80% I agree, 20% I disagree. Then because I'm agreeing 80%, I have to justify that agreement. I have to justify that agreement by giving what? Examples. So the first 4 pages of your essay in most essays will be like this. First, either you agree or disagree with the statement. Then if you agree, then justify with certain examples. This is where you show your dimensions. Okay, it's a very simple template, but you should not fill 7 out of your 10 pages with just these things. Okay, it should be stopped at 4 or 4.5 pages of your essay. Once you write this, that is where the real hero comes. That is the scope of the essay. Now, what is difference between dimension and scope? Dimension is just agreeing or disagreeing or justifying the statement. Scope is increasing the breadth of the essay. That means like asking questions. What happens if I don't repair the roof? Okay. Is there any cost that is associated when the sun is not shining if I repair it? Okay. So this adding of layers is called as a scope. What happens when you don't repair the roof? Okay. Is it always possible to repair the roof when the sun is shining? Right? So I hope you get the idea, right? Okay. So what happens when uh, what happens when you don't repair in the right time, or what is the impact when we don't repair in the right time, or do we have that ecosystem which encourages us to work in the time is right? Okay, a criticism for India is most of the times India is a reactive nation rather than a proactive nation. Okay, reactive nation means, again, see, don't take me other way, but we are a reactive nation. Only after 2004 tsunami we have a 2005 National Disaster Management Act. Okay, or only after 2000 unfortunate 2026 by 11 Mumbai attacks we have a National Investigation Agency. Right, only after the Cyrus Mistry road accident we are thinking about making it compulsory for what seat belts in the back seats. So every time India is more or less a reactive nation. Environmental Protection Act after the Bhopal tragedy. Okay, so every time we react. So we actually didn't even knew that sun is shining. That means you have to prepare in the peace time, right? So that is not there for India. So you can bring that and call it as the scope of the essay. Scope means you add that layer where you show that yes, why people don't repair the roof in the right time. Okay, why is it a lethargic attitude? Why do we always add after something happens? Okay, and if we are proactive, how will we know that the sun is shining? Yes, empirical data. What gets measured gets improved. So this part is called as the scope. So dimension and scope are two different things. Before 2014, it was very, very easy for just dimensions. If you just write the dimensions also, people used to give marks. After 2020, please trust me, just writing dimensions is not going to get you scores. You have to add the scope of the essay. So again, this is just the first class. So I want you to get into the groove. What are the terms that we use? The terms we use are perspective change. Perspective change means when you look at the topic, the philosophical topic, just the topic name is philosophical. Okay, nothing else is philosophical. You can write your everyday language. You can happily bring movies, stories, whatever you want to bring, you happily bring. Okay, if you don't know all these things also, it's totally fine. We can prepare. By the time you reach your mains, we will make sure that you are happy and good in essay part. Okay, so perspective change. Next is dimensions. We have dealt with the dimensions. I hope all of you understood what is meaning of the scope. Yes. Now, because if you understood the term the scope, okay, I want you to think about scope for this particular topic. What can be the scope for this particular topic? Is it okay that we are connecting in the new things but we are doing in the right way? Okay, we are doing it in the right way. Yes. So that is your scope for what? Ship in the harbor? See, think about the scope for ship in the harbor. Okay. First of all, let's imagine what is the anchor that is stopping you from moving away. Yeah, very good. Definitely, you can think in that dimension. What is the anchor? Okay. So That's a good, nice, good line of thought. Okay, sometimes there are anchors which are stopping us from leaving the harbor. So anchors can be internal, anchors can be external. Okay. So many UPSC aspirants have an anchor in their mind that essay, philosophical essay is stopping me. My progress is not there. I cannot write a good philosophical essay. Okay. Right. What are the repercussions? What are the profits and challenges? Comfort zones, very good. Example is telling about an example. We all talk about the books. That's not new to the evaluator. Again, it's not okay. My Hemant, my concept is this. Okay, you have addressed the right thing. Never ever think that routine is bad in UPSC. Okay, everybody will write the same example, but how are you writing it? What is the overall story that you are adding is more important. Okay, we'll think about it. As I said, once you start writing, it's easy for me to suggest all of you where you can improve. Right. So a ship is safe in harbor. Scope. Why is the ship in harbor? Why is it not moving out? Okay, what are the challenges or hindrances or anchors that the uh, that is stopping the ship? Okay, is it okay for all the ships to leave the harbor? For example, think about it. If I want to be a terrorist, okay, again, it's a very extreme example, but for understanding sake, if I want to be a terrorist, don't you think I'm happy to be in safe zone, not the comfort zone, never become the terrorist, never take the extra charge? Okay, so some ships are never supposed to leave the harbor. They are safe there only. I thought of being radicalized, but I left it at the harbor. Yeah, it's good to stay in the harbor than to explore. Okay, so sometimes what happens is some ships go out. Okay, some ships go out. Let's say a woman has taken a courage. She took a courage. For example, unfortunate example of this Aftab Poonawala. Okay, that woman, the girl, the victim, she had the courage to go out of her family, go out of her comfort zone. Okay, but what happened to her is very, very tragic. Yes. So should we show the example of one ship and stop the rest of the ships? Say this is what happens when girls go out. Okay. Am I not using that as a negative example to reinforce patriarchy? Right? Or if a ship ventures into the harbor, okay, should the ship also have an option to come back? Yes. So sometimes ships should explore, but they should also come back. Okay, or at least we should give that breathing space. See, again, I'm using that Aftab Poonawala example because the victim was not even in contact with her parents. Okay, the father. So sometimes it's okay to take the adventure, go out into the ocean, but again, as a harbor, it's a safe place. It's the families. These people should also allow that scope for coming back. Okay, measures that have to be taken. Ships can be get sunken also in harbor sometimes, but that is a very rare extreme examples, right? Ships don't sink in harbors. Harbors are like, places where you get repaired, you get healed. It's okay to come back to the harbor. You go out, you come back, it's totally fine, but you don't always have to stay in the harbor. You don't always have to stay in the sea. So harbor and sea complement each other. Rather than look them as a, totally two different things, you can look at them as a continuum. It's a cycle. Harbor for treatment, relaxation, getting ready, repairs, and all those things. I need harbor. Ships can go into the ocean and come back. Yes. Refugee crisis and internal turmoil. Okay. Bureaucracy is for service, not for political benefits. For example, migrant workers. Yes, yeah, reverse migration also happened in the COVID times. You can use all these examples. So this part is called as scope. So those who are attending the session from the beginning, did you understand the difference between dimension and scope? Was it clear enough? Yes. Okay. Again, there is a wonderful quote which says, "All of us are in the ocean, but we are not in the same boat. Some are in the yacht, some are in the boat." Okay. So within the ships also, there are different sizes, different capacities, different potentialities. Right. So to each to his own, or each ship to according to his own capacity. Right. So this is something that I want you to think about. So the 30 minutes have passed. So I hope I have given you that 30 minutes worth of application, like whatever you are supposed to learn. Philosophical essays are not that rocket science. It's very simple once you understand the logic behind that. Okay, so people have made a lot of fuss about it because of so many things. And always remember, for me it's very easy because I have been teaching for essays from a long amount of time. I probably brainstormed all these topics. Even if you give me a random topic also, I can brainstorm more or less in the same way. But the major difference that I notice is people don't have new inputs. Okay, excuse me. People don't have new inputs. Now what I want to convey is this. Just think about it. So this is your brain. This is where you analyze. This is where you bring. Okay. So, right. So UPSC has given you a topic. Some topic was given to you. You have to bring a lot of data into the uh, thought process. Then you have to write the essay. Okay. So what are the common sources you have? You have GS1 to GS4 papers. Okay. You can read Yojana magazines or Kurukshetra magazines. You can read newspapers, books, movies, TED Talks, podcasts, everything. Now, the thing is, never ever assume or read any book only for writing an essay. But whenever you read something, think and stop and think, can I use this in essay? That is what changes the game. Okay, don't read these stuff for writing an essay. Whatever you do in your daily life, think, can I use this in an essay? Okay, for example, you are standing at a signal, you're stopping at a red signal, the bike has stopped. Some kids have started coming and asking you for like money. Okay, or transgenders have started and came asking money. You can use that real life example in your essay writing. More organic thought process, more easy to write essay. Whenever you read something, try to use it. For example, again, the unfortunate event in Delhi, where a victim was dragged for 10 kilometers under a car. Okay. Now, is there something that I can take and write it in the essay? Okay. Yes, definitely. The introduction, you can use it as an intro, or you can use it as an example for lack of compassion in the human beings. You can use it in so many places. But the thing is, you have to believe that this can be used in the essay writing. Right? So, more thought process. So, as J.K. Rowling says, more you read, the better you read. More you read, the better you write. So, to write good essays, the first and prerequisite thing is right. So, more you read, the better you write. So, for that to happen, shouldn't we get familiar with those like where it can be applied? Now, good question, Raja. Where it can be applied. So all you can do is take 1 hour of your day and mug up all the topics. Okay. So for 40 days, if you brainstorm each and every topic in whatever you see in the UPSC, philosophical topics, automatically after that, you won't have anything new to write. Okay. And one more common complaint I have heard is, sir, everybody will write the same examples. How can I stand uniquely? What will make me unique? Okay. Trust me, when I evaluate copies, even the most basic example, like a mother has brought some kid to the Gautam Buddha, he asked her to visit after 1 week. Even such stories will sound very nice when you write in the right flow of the essay will be developed. Okay, but when you bring in some hatke example, some mind-blowing example from some Christopher Nolan movies, if it doesn't gel well with the topic, it doesn't make any difference. So okay, so it's not the uniqueness of the example that will get you marks, it's how well you have used the everyday example. And as I always say to my students, write something from your own life, because if 10,000 students are writing mains, only your life will have such example, and only your copy will have that unique intro. So just rack your brain and think of an example where a ship is safe in harbor, but that is not what ship is for. And it happened to you or someone you know, and that rewarded very nicely. Right? So that is a small change that you can bring in. Okay. Yes. Are we clear so far? Yeah. Yes. Okay. So one student is asking a question, sir, what about questions which I don't interpret properly? What if I am totally wrong? Okay. Now go to YouTube after this class and search for this essay. Okay. Majority of good faculty or teachers or majority of them interpreted this as only a woman only essay. Okay. Now what I always believe is this: if I give you a model answer or something like this, my imagination is here. Okay, I hope I'm visible. Okay, so my imagine is here. That means my right hand is a bit high. Okay, but your creativity can be more like this, right? Where you may have something mind blowing of an example. You can always be better than the teacher. Okay, or you have a life experience which is better than mine. So don't restrict yourself because just someone said so. Hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. Okay, it is my opinion. In my humble opinion, again, this is not only a woman only essay. Why? Yes, it has a lot of weightage for women, but can't I expand it to a lot of things? Okay, hand that rocks. Okay, now there is a scope for interpretation and misinterpretation, but I will nullify it by saying it takes a village to raise a kid. Or I will also again use Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's quote, where he says the three most important people that changes the society are father, mother, and teacher. Father, mother, and teacher. The moment I have added two quotes in the intro of the essay, haven't I expanded the quote or the topic from women only to father, mother, teacher, or in this case, the entire village? Yes. Again, if you observe, this topic is nothing but Ubuntu, the African philosophy of I am because we are, right? Yes, leadership in Indian national movement, definitely. The founding fathers of Indian constitution, the galaxy of leaders that we had at the time of constitution making our freedom struggle, have set the rest of the Indian tone. The idea of India is the idea of the constitutional fathers. See, I don't want you to kill your creativity just because someone said this is a woman only topic. Remove that idea from your mind. Okay, you can be more creative. Broader the thinking, better your thought process will be. Okay, hand that rocks cradle, that hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. Yes, mother is the first teacher. She is the one who rocks the cradle. She teaches us all the values and imbibes in us. But we also learn values from father, mother, teacher, the village. Okay, you can even expand it to the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Yes. Do you agree? So whenever you are in confusion with a similar topic, try to bring in similar knowledge or similar concepts so that your fusion of knowledge will happen, so that there is always better marks. Okay. So if you expanded the essay like this, you should at least get the minimum score. Right? Okay. Yes. Nuclear power country. Mm. Again, context wise, right? Yeah. So can I move on? Did you understand like how to use the topic? We can, yes, definitely, that is what I'm saying. You can write about father, you can write about teacher, you can write about the village. Everybody rises us, right? We don't rise ourselves. So the more the thinking, the better. Now, yes. Now what is one more problem? That students face is philosophical topics needs sources, right? So, sources in the sense, again, you have to be very good in your ethics preparation. Okay, why I suggest this is ethics plus society is where you get the most of the examples. Why? I will tell you. This is my personal belief. Again, you may disagree with me also. So whenever I write an essay, for example, uh, Indian society reads this. For example, if you see the 2021 part A third topic, philosophy of wantlessness is utopian while materialism is chimera. Okay, it sounds very technical. If I don't even know the meaning of chimera, then I won't be even touching that essay. But as a learned person, you are supposed to know what is chimera in one format or the other. Okay, now what happens is in a country where 30% of the population is sleeping without proper food, okay, below poverty line, where government records officially agree that around 20 to 30% of the population is not having everything that they want. Okay, how can materialism be chimera there? Okay, our wantlessness is utopian. Yes, definitely in a country like India, wantlessness is utopian because we have so many issues. So whenever you apply it to society, automatically it will connect with the examiner because most of the times we come from the same society. It's easy for us to understand poverty. If I talk about in Brazil this happened or in some other country this happened, it won't make total sense, right? So try to please use society more often and ethics more often because both of them come from Indian society. Examiner, you, us, everyone comes from Indian society. It's easy for us to connect with the topics. Everything should preferably come from India. So, I mean, not only India, but mostly India, so that it will have a larger impact. Okay, so that is one more perspective I want you to develop. That if you don't find examples, don't go for illusionary. The other day also I was evaluating, students wrote a hare and a rabbit case story. Okay, why can't you write about someone from rural urban area, in a urban area where a son of a software engineer in COVID lockdown time also is having access to internet, smartphone, ipad, he's having all the education without any break, he's happily reading. Whereas a farmer's son is having a digital divide. He's not able to study. He's not progressing in life. He's falling behind his own peers. Okay. So instead of using rabbit and hare, use the 2022 example of a rural and urban area digital divide. It makes more sense because it is what Indian society is made up of. We are a society of lot of paradoxes. We are a society of lot of contradictions. So always use society and ethics examples to justify, and it will hit the philosophical topic. And why I am telling you these two things is most philosophers, okay, most philosophers from Plato, Socrates, Aristotle, or Jiddu Krishnamurti, or everyone, even Vemana, if you know Vemana, the Telugu poet, everybody talks about their own society. So every philosopher is a product of his own society, and his philosophy applies to his own society. So ethics is society, philosophy is society, we know society, and examples should also come from society. That connects. Does that make sense? Philosophers talk about society, societal problems. Even Karl Marx talks about, social thinkers and all these people, they talk about the society of their times. So when Nietzsche says, Friedrich Nietzsche says, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger, he was not thinking about UPSC, right? If tomorrow the topic comes, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger, he's not talking about you. But you can apply that to Indian society, and that brings dimensionality. Okay? Yeah. Betterment of the current, betterment of the society. Yes, definitely you can use the stakeholders approach. Okay. So again, if you're not aware, this is nothing but my own PDF that I have shared in the DailyAWP also. You can go through and get all the PDF. So again, there are some total absolute beginners in the group. So please give me 5 minutes to explain what is the basic requirement of UPSC essay. In UPSC, whatever you are seeing on the screen is the official requirement of the notification. The notification expects 3 things from you. So seniors, please don't be bored. Absolute freshers, please focus. Candidates may be required to write essays on multiple topics. So you need to have holistic knowledge. So by the time you reach your prelims, clear prelims and write mains, you are good enough to do this. Okay, this is the single biggest problem, that you are expected to keep closely to the subject. That means whatever topic is given, you are supposed to be very closely writing towards the particular topic. Okay, and the next biggest problem is arrange the ideas in a orderly fashion. And lastly, you have to write it in 1000 to 1200 words. Okay, so it should be closely, it should be orderly, and it should be in a concise fashion. A, B, and C, all the three should match with each other. Okay, now we will discuss what is context and all those things, right? Next, credit will be given to effective and exact expression. Here, I want to make one more thing very clear, especially for the beginners. Neatness matters a lot. Okay, handwriting should be good, but it is not the only requirement. And never ever believe in the stories where you need to have good grammar, you need to have good expression, you need to use hi-fi words or verbose words. Okay, you need to have extraordinary vocabulary. All this is utter trash. Okay, lot of UPSC aspirants actually come from vernacular backgrounds. They come from Telugu, Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati mediums. Still, they go on to become IAS officers. So, if UPSC only focuses on grammar, expression, and verbose hi-fi masala words, you will never get into the service. But go and look at topper copies. Except the top 10 ranks, or most of the times, you will find normal words, normal English, and writing simply is a good thing. Okay, as Leonardo da Vinci says, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. So please never ever give in to the hype that grammar, expression, and verbose things are needed. At the same time, too much broken grammar or too much worse expression, these things also won't work. Bare minimum, something, what you think, what you write, and what you express, if they are more or less in the same lines and the examiner is able to understand you, you will get good marks. Okay, recently I shared a topper shared the same thing. One day someone asked him to evaluate that a person already got 140 twice in UPSC. So that is the day he realized. So I will try to share it in DailyAWP also. So that means forget about hi-fi things, focus on effective and exact expression. Okay, so now again, this is how your real life UPSC paper looks like. They will give you a topic, you have space to write, specimen copies. Okay, so make sure you practice in a similar copy. Okay, and fortunately or unfortunately, ethics and UPSC essay are only two papers where you will only get better by writing, not by listening. So even my classes are only like a step in the right direction. They will propel you in the right direction, but they are not substitute for learning. Nobody can spoon feed you. You have to write on your own. So write regularly, post them in the DailyAWP. Collectively, we will work. Okay, next. One more point I want all of you to remember is this. Whenever you look at a topic, okay, never ever directly write the topic, always brainstorm. So even for seniors, if you are listening attentively, please make sure you brainstorm at least 50 to 60 essays from now between, let's say, March. So that once you're totally tuned to the brainstorming part, as probably Raja or Raju was asking, how will we know where to use this data? 60 topics you have brainstormed, whatever you read, automatically your brain will tell you, Array, I can use this in that example. This I could have used in that example. Your brain will function very nicely once you know the requirements. Okay, so please make sure brainstorming is the single most important part that you have. As you can see, these are Shubham Kumar topics or Tina Dobby's brainstorming pages. This is what is expected of you, brainstorming. So more you brainstorm, the better. Only through brainstorming, your thought process will get clear. Once your thought process is clear, your writing will automatically improve, guaranteed. Okay. So as you can see, this is a prototype essay. So what the topper have done is intro, body, conclusion, brainstorming part, and conclusion part. So he has imagined how his essay will look like, and then he tried to fill that particular space. So please make sure you also develop the brainstorming part. Okay. Now, whatever is remaining is not actually useful for philosophical essay. But again, this is orientation. So please remember what is the impact of good intro. A good intro will always lead to good scores. Most of the times, good intro, good body, good conclusion will get you high scores. Bad intro, okay body, and good conclusion might get you still good score. But the thing is, if all the three are in very high, you have a very good chance. But if you go out of the topic, or if you don't meet the demand of the topic, you won't score good marks. Okay. Now, in philosophical essays, how do we start having a good essay or good intro? How do we ensure the flow in the essay? Yes. Now, again, this class will make more sense if we take a topic. Today morning, I gave a topic. We will look at the same topic. It will make sense. Why or how? Only by learning we can learn, right? So one student sent me this topic. Okay, think about this. The usefulness of the cup lies in its emptiness. So this was the topic that a student suggested me. Is this a philosophical topic? Is it tough enough for you? Yes. So what is our first rule? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Okay. So the usefulness of the cup lies in its emptiness. Do you understand the topic? When mind is without prejudices, it will be more of external influence. Okay. Now, the burden of a UPSC aspirant is to look at all these kind of lines and think, how can I write it 1000 to 1200 words on this? Okay, so the usefulness of the cup lies in its emptiness. So now listen very carefully. What we are trying to develop is perspectives. So perspectives are very important. Understand tribal culture with it. Why only tribal culture, Vasu? Because your optional is anthropology does not mean your optional negativity should be spilling over into these things, right? Our instrument should be ready for its functioning purposes. Okay, okay, very good. So please think about it. The usefulness of the cup lies in its emptiness. Okay. Do I agree with the topic? Disagree with it? If I agree, what percentage? Let's say I will agree 60, I will disagree 40%. Okay. Again, it varies from person to person, 40 or 60 or 90, 10. 10% no, it should not have space for poison. Okay. Right. Now, my thought process is this. Next, I have agreed or disagreed. Next, I have to find a dimensions. Dimensions for what? To justify the particular topic. After dimensions, what is the next thing that I need to do? Improve the scope of the essay. So three things. First is the usefulness of the cup lies in its emptiness. Yes, no. Dimensions, yes, if yes, justify. Scope, what is the scope? None of you are writing scope. Again, you don't have to go into philosophy, right? Okay. Sir, what happens shouldn't be familiar. Okay. Mind sovereignty, yes. We can learn as students, but I know everything is ego. Okay. We address philosophical topics with anecdotes. Definitely, you can use anecdotes in these kind of topics. Freedom of speech, absolutist. Okay. Agriculture, Anekatavada. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. To improve sports infra for the country, next for the FIFA Cup. Okay. How to make the cup empty? How to make the cup empty? Very good. Okay. Not able to listen. Okay. Voice not coming. Won't able to learn anything new if we are empty. Now, think of intro for this. Many people know this Gen story, right? There is a Gen story where a student goes to the master and the master asks, why are you here? Okay. Yes. Is it worth emptying the cup? Okay, good. Yes. Again, the usefulness of the cup lies in its emptiness. Agree or disagree? Yes, dimensions. What can be filled in the cup? That is also a very good dimension. Now, let's say I have knowledge. I also have fake news. If your brain is the cup, which one should be we filling it with? Automatically with knowledge, right? So you should also be expanding the scope by filling it with what? How much? Okay. Aren't aren't filled cups useful? Don't we have use for cups which are already filled? Chemical weapon discoveries. Okay, that is one negative stand, but okay, fine. But I hope you got the idea, right? So what I want to say is here, dimensions. Are cups useful? Yes. Why? When they are empty, I can fill it with a lot of things. Okay. Can I now ask you to identify dimensions? I will give you examples. For example, economy. Can you think of something from Indian economy or in general economy where we need a cup to be empty so that we can fill it? Is emptiness that much necessity? Is there any scope for getting more space? How to utilize emptiness productivity? Disinvestment, ease of doing business. Okay. So what Vasu is saying is disinvestment, NPA, disinvestment of PSU. Okay. So the government's cup is already full because of NPA. The banks are heavy because of NPA. So it's easy to kick out all the NPAs so that banks will function very nicely. Very good. Food insecurity, green revolution. Okay. Emptiness, straight jacket approach. Writing off bad loans is like emptying the cup. Okay. See, again, beginners, if you are not aware of all these terms, don't worry. What they are trying to tell you is, say government of India is there. Government of India's budget should be always, there should be some breathing space. If it's full or it's totally empty, that is not good. So NPS, other problems are also important. Okay. That's good. When people empty their money, consumption economy, it gets stronger. Empty their economy. Okay. Now think of a different cup. For example, women issues or anything related to women and the cup example. So the usefulness of the cup lies in its emptiness. Demonetization, economic prejudices with related to socialism, communism. Good. What is the cup? What is the formula there? Society without inequality. Again, please remember it has to link with the particular topic. The emptiness or the usefulness of the cup lies in its emptiness. Let's say this is parliament. If the parliament makes more space for women, okay, it will be more useful. Is it a stretch or do you think it's reasonable? If you don't remove prejudices, they won't be able to grow. Okay, so Indian society is already filled with prejudices. So the cup is filled with prejudices. So we have to empty the cup so that more women can come into the society. Very nice. Prejudices against women. Cup is called to women, empty prejudices, dimensions, previous women in Siachen Glacier example. Okay. Depends where there is actual. Okay. Yes. Hmm. But did you understand how to use your existing knowledge to fill the formula? Yes. Removal of perception regarding transgenders. Yes. All our minds are filled with prejudices, stereotypes, attitudinal issues, negative attitudes or positive attitudes. Our cups are already full. So whatever we are thinking is a product of our stereotypes, fake news, food stocks high distributed. Okay. Yes. Please participate so that you will learn. Again, there is no point in me monologuing all these things, right? Need not empty. Example technology we build on the top of the existing thing. Okay. So what Pooja is trying to say is, if a cup is already there, like the Newton quote, if the cup is already full, then it's easy to fill it. But again, here also we are agreeing that the usefulness of the cup lies in its emptiness. A cup should always be empty. Okay. Or can we say uh, Indian economy in the term of MSMEs? Indian economy in the terms of MSMEs, we need to have more absorption capacity. Empty space derbies. Emptying space derbies. Okay. Cupish technology improving Web 4.0. Okay. Usefulness of parliament when debates and dialogues are enforced. With emptying. Cupish usage of demographic dividend. Very good. That is exactly what example I have used in the morning as well. So right now our advantage lies in using the demographic dividend. So India should be empty. If government initiates private players, neutral stand for India-Russia crisis. Hmm. We sometimes we can make the cup bigger, but sometimes we have to live with it, right? Can I also say asymmetrical federalism? Is there any link to the usefulness of the cup and asymmetrical federalism? There is always scope for improvement in every field, so the cup should always be filled. Yes, that is my favorite philosophy of Dhoni. So that is what I call as Dhoni philosophy. Right. So are we clear now how to brainstorm? I hope at least you got a hang of what is philosophical topic and how to use your everyday knowledge. So if you understood that much, I think my job is done more or less for today. But I will be happy to discuss more on any specific things, especially related to philosophical topics. Remove in the mind, as a movie Matrix says, it's not the world that is bending, it's your mind. Okay, so there is no such thing as philosophical topic, it's only application of your knowledge. Second thing is, so many students have thrown so many examples in the chat box, but not every example is going to fit with this particular topic. With due practice, with regular application, okay, so what happens is, whatever examples you think are fit, you will put it. My suggestion to all of you is this: if you are serious about it, okay, it's very easy to use the chat box. Take 1.5 hours of your time in the next 3 days. Try to write this essay and post it in DailyAWP. I will be more than happy to show you your own copies and discuss in the same Zoom sessions, like why this is not working, why this is a good example. Because I believe again 15 to 20 people are very active. Even if those 20-15 people learn, okay, that will be very fine. Yes. So I will show your own copies in the same screen, and I will say why this example of, let's say, XYZ worked and why the example of ABC is not working. So collectively, I think we can create that momentum back where we can learn collectively. No, the one in the screen, in the sense, I will show you in the copy. What will be the plan of the course? The plan of the course I have discussed is, first give you the perspective. Okay. Then make you write, then discuss or evaluate of your own copies, then again reconfirm our perspectives. Okay, because as Confucius says, I cannot give you a fish, I can only teach you how to catch the fish. Because 100 people are there, I cannot say all the 100 people are enjoying the class or understood the class, but only those who will write this particular essay will understand the pain when they say, okay, usefulness of the cup lies in emptiness, okay, my paper is empty, now how should I fill it? Okay, so filling the cup is not easy as you think it is, right? Mhm. Right? Yeah. No. Are you still afraid of philosophical topic, or did your perspective change even 1%? Right? So if your perspective even changed 1%, a recap of the whatever we have learned towards is perspective is everything. The moment you stop seeing them as philosophical essays and worry about Kant, Bentham, and all these people and write in a very simple fashion, you will be rewarded. Second thing is you have to add dimensions which are very, very relevant. Most people flatter here. The third point is you have to improve the scope of the essay. And last and most important thing is whatever you write, you should write it in a relevant fashion. Every example, whether it's dimension or scope, should be very relevant to the given things. Right? Next, please never ever assume that it will be very easy. You have to do your basic homework. Like you have to mug up certain codes, at least 25 codes. You need to know at least 25 codes on any given day. Slowly, we will, with practice, it will come. Okay. The next most important thing that you need to remember is application of your examples. Once you brainstorm, you need to see an example. Okay. Say, for example, now that we have seen this particular topic, what the usefulness of the cup lies in its emptiness. Whenever you see something in the news from today onwards till you clear UPSC, you should always recollect, can I use this in this particular essay? Yes, this sounds very good for the particular topic. Okay. So application of examples is very, very important. So application is the most important thing. Now, think of an intro and think of a conclusion. These things will you will develop over a period of time. Now Anurag is asking how to end the essay. So always it should be optimistic, as everyone says. It should be optimistic and futuristic. What do I mean by that? That means, let's say for me personally, how I will end this particular topic is India should always be burning with the hunger, okay, to keep growing. Okay, so India's cup should always be like part filled or half filled, so that India will always have the burning desire to keep growing, because Indians should never feel the contentness. Or I will use Gandhiji's talisman, where I say India's cup is filled where on the day where every tear is wiped from every eye. That is Gandhiji's talisman. Okay, so if I want to conclude it, I will use such quotations where I say the cup here is India, the perspective, the passion, the desire to do something. As long as that desire is not complete, we should always keep the cup empty. Okay, so there should always be scope for improvement, as somebody else was saying. But I will use it as the Gandhiji's talisman, or as Nehru says, to wipe every tear from every eye. Again, these are some things very easy for me to say, but very difficult for you. It should be optimistic, futuristic, and it should have that passion that you have a bent of mind either towards a society or for India or for humanity. Right? So most essays will be in these lines. Either it should end with society, India, or humanity. That means you are a passionate human being. You are a potential IAS officer. Again, I repeat this line. You are a potential IAS officer. A potential IAS officer will always think beyond himself, and he will not ask questions. He will give solutions. So solution oriented mindset is very, very important for UPSC. So whatever quote you say, whatever problem you identify, you should always apply it to either society, that is at societal level, the Indian level, or you should go for humanity. As we should say, use the cup for achieving the goal for Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. Yes. As long as you can simply use Steve Jobs, right? Stay hungry, stay foolish. So only when there is passion, only when there is some gap in your stomach, okay, you will burn. But that gap should be for Trishna, the knowledge, the passion. Because again, if we write we should sleep half empty stomach, it will be very insensitive to half of the Indians, right? So you should convey it in the meaning that the passion, the trishna in India should always be for uplifting the society, making India stronger, $5 trillion economy, better humanity, or vasudhaiva kutumbakam in application, not only in theory. So you can use all such philosophies towards the conclusion, right? Yes, the emptiness led to so many discoveries. Curiosity, emptiness is curiosity, emptiness is passion. Clean slate is better for new beginning. Okay, that is one counter argument, but again, it will be like totally disagreeing with the statement, right? So some is fine. See, or you can convince the examiner by saying from 1947 we came to 1991. From 1991 reforms to we came to 2022. From 2022 reforms PLI Atmanirbhar Bharat, we will reach something in 2047. Right? So we only added layers. Every time we made things better and better and better, and we have reached a better stage in India. Emptiness should be filled with values. Okay, yes, definitely. Yes. Yeah. If you want me to think about one more topic or anything, any specific questions, or you want me to discuss on anything, feel free. Even if you don't know, you don't know me or anything, please feel free to connect with me. I'm here to help you because my only intention is this: give you perspective in day one, because I don't want to bore you to death. Okay, this is how essay will be boring. I will teach, you will listen, you will go back and sleep. None of those things should happen. You should learn, you should write. At least if 10 of you can write this copy, I will consider this session as a success. Right? I was saying about some Gen story. Yes, the Gen story. Can you share silver lines about the transition of dimensions? Okay. Okay. First, we will complete the Gen story because it was left undone. Gen story means a very famous master is there in Japan. Okay, as all Gen stories go, he is a very wise person. So one day, a fellow student or somebody comes and talks to me, talks to the master. Okay, sir, I need to discuss something or something like that. Then when the master tries to say something, the student is not willing to listen. Okay, I know this. Tell me something new. I know this. Tell me something new. Then the master tried a lot to teach the student that there is always scope for improvement. The student was like, I know this also. I know this also. Then he simply took a empty cup. Okay, he started pouring the tea. Now the tea is filled. The master kept on pouring. The cup is full. The water started overflowing. When the tea started overflowing, that is when the student understood that if my mind is full, if my cup is full, no new knowledge will go. So when I came to the master or when I came to essay class, I should not assume that I know everything. If I know everything, there is no scope for learning. So even if you spend 1 hour, you might have learned one thing new because something that you don't know. Okay, most people know most things. That does not make you a full cup. So that is a good intro according to me for this particular topic. Yes. So example from one paragraph to one paragraph. I think that is what others are also asking. Can you share the silver lining of transition of the dimensions? Okay. So I will give you my practical wisdom. I am defining dimensions, but difficult to writing paras. Alexander, arrogant mind wins his victories, but lost against Porus. Okay. So whether okay. Now what some evaluators do is they will put arrow marks like this. Okay, from this para to this para, this para to this para, you need to have connecting lines, you need to have linkages and all those things. In my experience, I can humbly tell you this is utter trash, utter rubbishness. Unless you have pre-prepared the topic very nicely or you have a wonderful grip over English language, this is not at all possible in all the examples. In some cases, it is very much possible, but it is not possible in all cases. So don't aim for this utopian dream in the beginning of the preparation stages. Okay. Let's say if this dimension is about economy, okay, the next dimension can maybe just about, let's say, uh, some service sector or some sectors of economy. So subsectors of one macro topic can be applied here. Okay. But so again, as Socrates paradox says, Socrates paradox says this, right? I know that I know nothing. Okay. So the more you learn, the less you know. So whenever you are writing a macro dimension, you can write a small dimension. So service sector, industry sector. Again, if that essay permits it, not in all essays, then maybe the connect is easy. Okay. Or else what happens in real life is, if this dimension is about economy, we write about polity, we write about history or some other dimension. So the examples will not have the coherence. Okay. So try not to do this. But one thing you can do is, again, please notice this. If this is the essay, if this is intro, this is conclusion, right? If this is body part, if this entire part is body part, you can have a side heading here. Under that side heading, all the relevant dimensions can be written. Next side heading, all the relevant dimensions can be written. It will give you more structure. Okay. Here, never ever write bullet points. Never ever draw diagrams. No flow charts. No nothing. It should be purely paragraph. Okay, only paragraph and nothing else. No bullet points whatsoever. Okay, so these side headings and side headings with the next dimensions might give you more structure, more coherence, more flow. Yes, like Hindu articles, definitely. My favorite analogy is this: write Hindu content in Times of India language. Definitely, Sumit. I will be happy to do that. Once you start writing something, it's easy for me to tell you like this is where you have made a mistake, and it will be helpful for everyone else, right? Right. So only write in paragraphs. Write Hindu content with the Times of India language. Very simple. Everybody reads it. Okay. But the content should be on this. Second thing is it should be empirical. It should be data based. It should be fact based. Never ever write pure opinions. Right. So I don't know whether that answered your question, Hemant. I'm not pretty sure that I justified it. So should we use socially, politically, and other connecting words like moreover? That is possible. Hitesh, definitely that is possible. Again, that depends on essay to essay. You can write socially. This happens not only socially but politically, not only politically but economically. So these are the ending lines of that particular paragraph. So if one paragraph is socially, not only socially but also politically, so this paragraph will be about politics, not only politically but about economically. So that is some kind of connect, but it may or may not work. At least in the recent times, I haven't seen that many copies. Yeah. And again, see, I don't have any vested interest in running this particular module. As I told you, this session is actually supposed to be for 3 students, only 3 students. I thought, why not help others also? Please remember this. All the videos in YouTube are not going to teach you how to write an essay unless you put a pen and paper and sit for 1.5 hours. Okay. 1.5 hours of my class and 1.5 hours of writing. 1.5 hour writing is 10x more productive than listening to my classes. Okay, not only my class, any class. Even if you read Anudip Dursetti book also or anything also, take my suggestion very seriously. Take a pen, write for 1.5 hours. Do this every Sunday till Feb 20. On the 11th Sunday or 12th Sunday, if you don't see that improvement, okay, you come and talk to me. Okay, guaranteed. It's not only me. You can go to anyone. You can write anywhere, but write. writing is the best way to learn essay. When I started my essay writing, my friends used to tell me like, you have a lot of commas, you don't think, you write in a unidimensional way and all those things. I have visibly seen people get 140, 150 very good scores only through practice. So please make sure you practice more so that it will help you. Okay, and I'm really sorry if I have missed one or two questions because the chat is going so fast. What if we find in the middle that we got distracted in ourselves from the topic? Okay, so to avoid that disaster from happening, Manisha, so what we can do is this. When you take a brainstorming page, write the first 3 or 4 questions. Why should the cup be empty? Okay. What is emptiness? Okay. Or what happens if the cup is full? Right. So what happens if the cup is full? What is the advantage of a filled cup? Something like this, or a filled cup. So if you can write 4 or 5 questions like this and brainstorm, whenever you are writing the essay, it's always easy to come back, because this is first part of the essay, second part of the essay, third part of the essay, fourth part of essay. You won't lose the macro streamline of thought. Okay, your thought process will be streamlined. Okay, I'm going in a flow, I'm not deviating, because some people have a writing style that they go organically without doing this. That is fine. You may not use the same headings in the essay, you can just directly go with the flow. But whenever you're writing point 1, point 2, you can come back, look, okay, I'm still in the same line of thought. First I have to address this, next that, next that. It makes your life very easy. So brainstorming is actually the unsung hero of the topic of the essay preparation. Okay. Now, what is thesis statement mean? Right. So this is also one really interesting question. Please remember, a normal topic. For example, women-led development is important for India. Okay, let's imagine there is a topic, women-led development is important for India. I don't need to write anything else, because my answer will be more or less yes. When I open your copy, I want to find yes, most of the times, or at least 90%, women-led development is very important for India. 10% can argue that we have to have gender equality and all those things. But 90% of the times, essay will be yes, yes, yes. No confusions whatsoever. But when I see a topic like be the change, okay, if this is the topic, then as an examiner, say someone like me is evaluating a copy, I will expect layers, or layer approach, or stakeholder approach. That means individual, national level, society level, community level, institution level, etc., etc. I will have some expectations. As a rational human being, I want to see all this dimensionality. But once I started reading your essay, your entire essay from start to end is only about individual. Because I already have a prefixed mindset, I'm utterly disappointed that you haven't gone for other dimensions, and I might punish you. It's not my job. I should not be punishing you because you wrote essay only in one dimension. I should give you marks for what you have written. But what happens, unfortunately, is you disappointed me subconsciously. Okay. Now, this is where the thesis statement comes into the picture. Now, what is thesis? Thesis is like a route map. Okay. For example, in Hyderabad, we have a station called as Kachigoda station. Okay, you don't know Kachigoda station. So I will tell you, go to Kachigoda station, go to platform number 3, go to your coach B1, your seat number is 35. Okay, the instructions are very clear that you will go and sit. This is the purpose of the thesis statement. That means you are telling to the examiner, in this essay, okay, what you are going to find is the topic be the change. The topic will always be about individual, but why individuals fail to change? What are the steps to change? This is what you are going to find. Now that you have given the seat number to the evaluator, Okay, the evaluator won't be disappointed because he's following a theme. Okay, this fellow told me to go to Kachiguda. Okay, I'm reading about individuals. Fine. He also told me that what are the problems of individuals. Yes, platform number. That means you are making the benchmark of the examiner and benchmark of your answer the same. If you don't write the thesis statement, the benchmark of the examiner will be here. Your essay will be here according to him, or here. That might also happen. But the thing is, there is a mismatch between your perception and his perception. But by writing a thesis statement, especially in philosophical essays, you are removing all the ambiguities. I hope that makes very clear, like what is the importance of thesis statement in especially philosophical essays. And did I go too fast, or like I don't know? Again, if you thesis statement is clear. Thesis statement means what are we going to write in this essay? That is like setting a benchmark. Yeah, that is like setting the tone to the essay. So we are showing the invigilator direction in intro. In the direction, in the intro, you are telling to the examiner that how you understood the topic, what is the essence. After intro, you write thesis statement. In thesis, you are setting the tone, the benchmark, the expectation. Scope of the essay, both are same. Yes, more or less, thesis statement and scope of the essay are more or less same. Any example in the sense? I didn't get you. Again, as I said, in this essay, what are we going to find out? That is called as the thesis statement. Yeah. Can you again examine thesis statement? Okay. Can I take a dimension and include all the possible scopes? No, try not to do that. Can we take a dimension and include all the possible scope under it? Then again, that will backfire from essay to essay. It's very hard to tell me on what topic. Yeah. Right. So if you have any more questions, whatever body we write, is this thesis statement example different dimension? No. Body is different from macro headings are fine. Individual dimensions are not needed in thesis statement. I mean, wait till next class, not next class, probably next Wednesday or Thursday. I will definitely show your own copies what is thesis statement. Practicality is always better, right? I believe in learning by doing rather than learning by learning. How to self-evaluate, as Manisha, as if you are aware, the daily AWP is about, peer evaluation. You can post the copies there. If anybody wants to write there, evaluate there, you can evaluate their copies, or they will give you feedback. So 2 eyes are better than 1. So whatever you write, you just post it in the group. Somebody will give some feedback. Can we write in first person language, or we should maintain the third person? Many times it doesn't happen. Yes, we will try to rectify that. That is why I revived the group. Even if then it fails, then I will take one class on how to evaluate yourself. Can we write in the first person language, or we should maintain the third person language? Preferably third person language. And please make sure the essay is a formal essay. Don't write Modi, Ambedkar. Always use Dr. Ambedkar or Prime Minister Modi or some formal tone. As long as you maintain that formal tone, it is always good. Never write in intro. It's fine. I was a kid is fine in intro, but throughout the essay, body part, try not to use I. So informality is not good. First person is not good in the body part. In intro, it is fine. Okay. Conclusion should be 2-3 paragraphs. They say, can you throw some line upon how we would go? Okay. So conclusion means what? Conclusion should be having a pre-conclusion and a conclusion. No, you can definitely use he and she. If you have seen the news recently, the telecom regulation or something, government has used the entire document as a she. They didn't even mention he. So one is not at all needed. You can happily write she. Conclusion means again not just the last paragraph. That is your GS thought process. Uh, to conclude, this is what we should do: one, two, three paragraphs. For example, multiple stakeholders approach. You can write about how everybody should come together, reforms have to be done. All these things will be the conclusion. Solutions part as conclusion. No, solutions is totally different from conclusion. Try not to confuse conclusion. Conclusion is where you are taking a final stand that whatever I have said till now is going to help it like this. So whatever will help is the conclusion. How we will reach there is your solutions. Again, see, I totally understand your enthusiasm, but please understand whatever we are discussing is theory or hypotheticals. I cannot explain to you what is a good essay by theory, right? Some people might be bored, some people will leave. The thing is, if I show you this is conclusion, okay, then you will understand. But I have to show your own conclusion, because when you write, you have an expectation. This is the benchmark. I will say this, you can be this. Then it's easy for you to cover the gap. Right now, I'm saying this should be a conclusion. You don't even have a benchmark to discuss. Where to submit the okay, in Telegram, there is a group called as DailyAWP. I'm posting the group name, right? So whenever you write, you can always take my help. Again I'm not doing this because I have seen some students who are really from different areas who are not able to get essay help. So this is my skill set. I thought of helping you. Any form of diagram is not at all permissible. Again, purely personal example, I will tell you two examples. Never ever draw diagrams in essay. Okay, it backfired spectacularly for me when I was in my first essay. But Ira Singhal, 2015 topper, she drew an India map in the essay. She got 150 plus. But Ira Singhal is a rare exemption where a person who drew an India map and got a good score in essay. After that, I have seen hundreds of copies. I haven't seen a single diagram. So as of now, in 2022-23 UPSC, the benchmark is don't draw diagrams, flowcharts, or anything. Okay. Praful, I have also created a document called as Essay Daily AWP. If you have seen it in the group, this particular diagram that I have shown earlier. Okay. If you are not aware, see, this document have everything that you need to learn for essays. See, these are the types of intros. Okay, I have cut copy pasted from various topper copies. What kind of intros can be included from anecdotes, quotes, etc., etc. I have also added, what can be the dimensions that you can use in the body part. Okay, or how you can use your syllabus copy to add dimensions, right? Then even I have added what are various examples of conclusions. So I don't want to waste your time by uh, yes, that is what I'm saying. To draw maps again, that is what I said. Only Ira Singhal told the draw maps. Okay, but apart from Ira Singhal, no other topper told me. I don't even know whether Anudip Durseti has drawn a map, right? So in this document, I have compiled all the things that you need to get an idea on what is a good intro, what is a good conclusion, how you can do this. Okay, I have even added body part layers. For example, what are layers? Sources that you need to write a good essay. Okay, what are the various things that you can pick up? Hmm. So please go through the document. I have done all your work. I have tried to make it as easy as possible for all of you. So it will help you. So what is stakeholder approach, right? How you can expand on the layers, right? Yeah. Can you one example in the thesis statement? So right? So simple. Any thesis statement, right? Like let's say, for example, we don't inherit earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children. In this essay, let us discuss what is sustainable development, or how we are borrowing from the future generations, or what will happen if we don't keep in the mind that it is the next generation's resources, not what we have borrowed, and how to rectify this. Something in those lines will be a good thesis statement. 3 or 4 lines, it should be enough. Yeah, right. When you're writing essay, should be first do a bit of research on it and then write. No, spontaneous writing in the beginning is always suggested because it will be very, very difficult for you. Once you develop that spontaneity, it will make more sense. Yes. How to avoid grammar mistakes? Uh, read newspapers regularly, automatically grammar will set right itself. Right. So again, please try to write an essay. We will discuss again. I'm not going anywhere. 1.5 hours is more than enough for essays. So regularly 1 hour is fine. I don't even want to take 2 hours fully, because once you understand it, once you start writing, we will work on that. Okay. If you have any specific questions, you can always message me on Telegram. I think most of you have my Telegram ID. You can find it in DailyAWP also. Right? Yeah. If you have any specific questions, please let me know, or else I will conclude the session. We will meet again tomorrow to discuss more essays. So by the time you write your first essay on Sunday, I want you to be crystal clear. Tomorrow we will only discuss the topics, not the nitty gritty of the essay. More brainstorming, more thinking, more development. No questions? Can you give on how we are going to about classes and when will we post essay on the group? Essays will be posted on every Sunday. Okay. The theme is I want to discuss more. So by the end of this session, 20 to 25 philosophical topics will be discussed, so that you will get the hang of it. So automatically you will write well. So that is my simple theme. Listen, write, rectify. Listen, write, rectify. This is my simple theme. Yeah. Done. Okay, then thank you for participating. I will end the session here. If you have any questions whatsoever, message me on Telegram. My Telegram ID is Kalyanz, KALYANZZ. I'm always happy to help you. Right? So read newspapers to write better essays. Okay. Yeah. See you all soon. Take care.